you'd like to start when you were like 17 and expecting to hear from the Ministry of Defence?
Oh yes, well it comes as a surprise actually. You know, you're 17 and you get this envelope through the letterbox and you've got to report to an office. Mine slips me exactly where the office was. It could have been in Woking, it could have, I'm not sure. Anyway, it wasn't an army person, it was a civilian person who'd done the interview. And he just said to me, after I'd sat down, I've got three choices. Well, I knew the Navy was out of the question because one would have to volunteer for the Navy. But I thought, I would like to go in the RAF. And he said, yes, you can go in the RAF, but you would have to sign on for an extra year. And he said that is better than the Navy because they would want a far longer period. And I thought, well, I didn't want to sign on, you know, I mean, it's an inconvenience breaking in an apprenticeship to go in the military service. So, and because then I didn't know how good it was going to be, you know, and anyway, I said, well, I was born in Wales, lived all my life in Surrey, so maybe I would like to go in the Welsh Regiment, because I remember this well, they were serving out in Jamaica, and that's a lovely place to go. So he said, well, yes, I can put you down for that. So I said, well, I would like to go in my father's regiment as a second choice, which is the Horse Artillery, which is for artillery today. So he said, yes, we can put you down for that too. So I said, can't I just do 2 years in the RAF? He says, well, he said, I'll put you down, but it'll be the RAF regiment, which you won't get near an airplane, you just patrol the perimeter. So anyway, off I go and back to work, and eventually on my 18th I get another envelope. I got a report to Kingston. I'm in the East Surrey Regiment. And my face did drop, I must admit. East Surrey Regiment, that's infantry. You walk everywhere. Anyway, I reported to Kingston, and the only bit I'm not sure of, did I have 6 weeks at Kingston or 4 weeks at Canterbury, or was it the other way around? Anyway, Kingston was a bit of a bind really, because it's square bashing, and you're breaking in your boots, and they did need some breaking in, believe me, and you're given this uniform, and I mean, it was just a bundle. And as I mentioned earlier, that you had to stand in line to wait for the iron. And the time I got the iron to iron my tunics and trousers, it was red hot. And I thought I'd put a nice fancy pleat in the back, scorched my uniform, and I was the very, very first one of our intake to be put on a charge. And I was marched by the company sergeant major, it wasn't the RSM, it was company sergeant major, in to see the colonel. And they'd removed my shoelaces and belt as punishment, I think, you know. It wasn't a serious crime, like I was going to top myself. And I think I had 3 days confined to barracks. I weren't allowed into Kingston, you know. And I never scorched my uniform after that. And then eventually you had your marching out parade when Mum and Dad come, and I didn't expect to see them there because, I mean, nobody had cars in those days. It was all bus. You jumped on the Green Line bus. And it was very hard for them to get to Kingston.